Good afternoon, everybody. This is Elitris Thomas. I'm coming to you from my YouTube channel. I am wanting to speak on the death of George Floyd and the reaction that the city of Atlanta is having on that particular event. And it is with deep concern that I'm coming to you because, as you know, this event actually happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota, not in Atlanta, Georgia. So the officers in Atlanta, Georgia should not be under attack for any reason. None of these events like that took place here, which says a lot because a lot of our officers also live in our communities. These people are not just our police officers. They're here, they're ordained to protect the communities, but they also live in the communities that they protect. And it's almost as if you're going to your neighbor's door at this point, knocking, saying, because you're a police officer, you know, we don't trust you anymore. But yet and still we go to church every Sunday. Our kids go to the same school. We live in the same neighborhood. We shop at the same grocery stores. Now, it doesn't really make a lot of sense for everybody to go in right now on police officers solely because of this event that happened over in Minneapolis. That was a white officer, and he was totally wrong. He was totally wrong in what he did, and the other officers that stood by and watched like they had no voice was no better. But I want you guys to understand that that mentality is not the mentality of everybody else. I know amazing officers. I mean, all of the officers, anytime I've called them, have always been ready and willing to assist in however they can, from someone's battery dying on the side of the road to a break-in at your house or a domestic dispute, you know, where officers had to be called in order to maintain the situation or control the situations. So I just wanted to tell you guys, just, you know, in an effort to try to keep things relevant, but still, let's just be fair. I mean, let's just be fair on who we're dealing with and look at the locale and the location of where we are, because these things are not happening here in the city of Atlanta. Erica Shields has done her best to go in and tell you what her stance was on the situation, and she's a representative for the entire city of Atlanta Police Department. I don't feel like, you know, as we are downtown rallying, that there is anything wrong with that. However, I do see a lot of things that I have a problem with. I have a problem with people throwing water bottles at officers that have done absolutely nothing to them. That is a disgrace. So we as a people need to learn how to teach and train our people how to rally and how to share their voice without being so blatantly disrespectful. Like, if that was your father on the other side of that police, uniform, would you really do that? I mean, if that was your uncle or your grandfather or your dad or your cousin or your brother or your nephew or your niece, I mean, like, really, would you do that? So these people out here are representing our communities. They are representatives of our families, and it's just so shocking and disheartening to me that they have to go out and deal with these situations in the role that they are. They are here to protect and serve. They are not here to abuse their powers. You know, I think that Erica Shield does a great job on making sure that her officers are accountable. Everywhere I've gone over the course of the years, dealing with officers in the Atlanta and around the Atlanta area, they were, I mean, extremely nice. They are people first. And they as well are appalled about what has gone on. Okay? It is not okay for you to treat them that way, because just because you have a few bad apples does not mean that the whole bag is full. Okay? We have amazing officers out here. I mean, and for me to go on and on the news and see that people are actually chanting, "We don't need cops." I mean, you don't need security. You don't need someone to control the peace for those people that do get unruly and go all out of their way, for those people that are having mental health emergencies. Police officers' job are to maintain control of the situation and remove the perpetrators. There are a lot of bad people out there. There are a lot of bad people out there right now that's rallying about this George Floyd death. And, you know, I think that we as a people need to come together and learn how to, number one, control our anger. Okay? Number one, we need to learn how to control our anger, because our anger, even though it fuels passion in us, it's a different way to fight. In this day and age, you don't want to go out to a fight and come up dead. Like, you don't want to do that. Like, I just can't understand for the life of me why people are out there and they're doing all of these degrading things. Like, I see a young man on the TV, on the news right now, Channel Fox 5, and it's live right now with their pants hanging down. We as a community need to learn how to teach our people, our children, our neighbors, our brothers, our sisters, how to be law-abiding citizens so that they can control themselves when they get into situations. Like, you don't have to curse in every instance. You don't have to go off in every instance. Sometimes the situation merits going off, but in most instances it doesn't. Like, there's a way that you can control yourself. You have to learn how to reach within you. So I would actually encourage everybody, if you have a short temper, or you get angry easily, or you find yourself in more situations where you're unable to control your behavior, that you actually seek some assistance. Okay? And I'm coming to you from a place where I've actually been. I've been there. I've been into the place where I was angry. I've been to the place where all I saw was red. It did no good for me. It did no good for me. But for me, I was able to recognize what led up to those situations so that I can control that behavior in the future. Yes, I did have my moment. But in the interest of what we're talking about, passion means that you need to find a way to do something. If you're angry about this, find a way to stop it. Find some groups that you can get into so that you can learn different laws. Find out how to change the hiring process of police officers. Find out how to how to regulate, so to speak, the process of making sure that people in those types of situations are actually people that are going to be best fits for the job. Okay, yes, use of force is merited in a lot of situations. Okay, however, when you have somebody kneeling down on the ground and they're telling you they can't breathe, please just give me some water, my knees hurt, my head hurt, my neck hurts, please help me, please, and then all of a sudden they get quiet and you continue to keep your knee in their neck. Come on now, like, really, who does that? That means that person is an animal itself, because you have no heart, you have no moral, you have no sense of humanity whatsoever, which would cause somebody to actually continue to kneel down in someone's neck, knowing darn well that they're hurting them. Okay, and then you have several other officers that are walking around in the situation, trying to maintain the situation to keep everybody else away from it, without even trying to say, hey, you know what, maybe you're right, maybe you could just let up on a little bit, like you could just release the pressure just a little bit so that at the very least he remains restrained, but he could breathe. You know, this man died because he's a large black man who was having an encounter with the police. That is not good. That is not respectable. And unfortunately, unless we come together to learn to educate ourselves on what's going on, the political processes, how to change laws, how to get these charges aligned with the penalties of police officers when they go this route, then we're going to be in the same situation. Like, it's gonna be the same situation. So we really need to learn. Let's learn these laws. Let's learn how to make sure that people that are representatives of ours in governments for the state and the United States, that they are for us. Like, you have to get out, you have to vote, you have to make your word, you have to research your parties to make sure that their ideals align with what your ideals are. If there's somebody out there that are willing to help you, like if you looking at different situations across the world, then you want to make sure that you got someone in place that's going to represent what your intentions are. Okay, and then you have to show up for it and you have to support them by all means. I didn't come to rant, I didn't come to fuss, but I am appalled at, just in the Atlanta area, the walk. Not saying that by any means that it is a bad thing. I think it's an amazing thing. However, some of the things during the walk, like you guys know, we're in the middle of a pandemic, okay? And the COVID-19 crisis has mostly affected the black communities, yet and still we continue to congregate in spaces like that. Yes, we are standing up for something. But at the very least, social distance yourself so that you don't get sick and take anything home to your families. You never know what's out there. With all of the COVID-19 cases in the metro Atlanta area, DeKalb and surrounding areas right now, I wouldn't want to take that risk for anybody. Even though if I did show up, I would still maintain my distance. I wouldn't get too close to anybody, and I would definitely not take my mask off. And I would keep me some sanitizer with me. So there's things that can be done correctly. Okay, and I ask you guys from the bottom of my heart just to really assess the situation and look at what you're doing. Look at who is the target in this situation, because it's not just the police. It's not all police. Okay, again, all police are not bad. All police are just, well, most of them. I'm not even going to say most of them. I'm going to say the vast majority of police officers actually go to work to make a difference. They actually help. They actually want to help. They want to render aid. They want to support you in the best way that they can with the resources that they have. But you have to give them a chance to do that. Okay? You really have to give them a chance to do that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant. I didn't mean to go on for, 10 or 11 minutes. I really thought this video was going to be 2 or 3 minutes at max. But I was able to get everything I wanted to tell you guys out. So I really want you to just look at the situation, assess it, and go by it, in a positive manner. And if you feel like you need some help, like, don't just have your ideals to yourself, bounce it off somebody else, somebody with some sense. Okay, and you guys do the right thing, because at the end of the day, doing the wrong thing and fighting back with fire is only gonna get you killed. We don't want no more deaths. We don't want anybody else out here dead because of a situation that could have been avoided. Okay? Protect yourselves. Protect your children. Protect your lives. Protect your neighbors. Okay? This is just a call for humanity. I have several sons, and I've always told them I would rather you submit to the police for 15 to 20 minutes, even if I have to come get you out of jail. I'd rather get you out of jail than put you in a damn casket. Okay? So I really want you guys to really go back and look at this situation, assess it thoroughly, and understand how to maneuver yourselves in a way that will make your voice heard and keep you alive. Okay? We are not the targets here. So many other things that we have to deal with. And I'm not, by any means, again, I'm not saying that, this George Floyd thing is something that we must not deal with. I'm just saying that, like, look at the way that we're doing it. Okay, let's just make sure, for those that are out there and you see people throwing water bottles and you see them being disruptive, try to talk to them, try to talk them down, especially if it's somebody out there with any taste of mental health counseling experience. Just try to talk them down, tell them to get some help, get some assistance, because we could definitely use their help in the fight, but we don't want them to cause any negative attention to any of us that we don't actually need. Okay, and best of luck to you guys all. I'm with you in this fight. I'm working on my part. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that we don't have to do it this way. We don't have to be nasty. We don't have to curse people out. We don't have to be a destruction or a distraction or anything like that. We have a lot going on right now. Again, we are in the middle of a state of an emergency, and we are in the middle of a pandemic that's just targeting our communities at so much a faster level than it is other communities. So I'm just telling y'all guys, please watch out. I love you. Like this video, share this video, and I mean, let's figure out what we can do to make a difference without doing it in a way that's going to get us killed. Okay, you guys take care. I love you again. Bye.